Happy morning, dear students. Diet is not balanced and is inadequate in terms of calories, proteins, fat, micronutrients, and minerals. The malnutrition affects our body. Hi, this is Shansi. Today's topic is nutritional deficiency disorders. In this unit, we are going to learn about what are the conditions of nutritional deficiency disorders. We will discuss today. Introduction. Nutrition plays an important role in maintaining our health. There are various nutrients in the food we eat. Adequate amount of food, different nutrients in appropriate proportions are required for healthy body. When diet is not balanced and is inadequate in terms of calories, proteins, fat, micronutrients, and minerals, malnutrition affects our body. Half of preschool children in India suffer from moderate and severe grade of protein caloric malnutrition. Over 50% women suffer from iron deficiency anemia. Many have mild vitamin deficiency, B complex vitamins deficiency, particularly of riboflavin, folic acid, and vitamin B12 are also common. We will discuss the manifestations of nutritional deficiency diseases, their management, prevention, and control in context of national nutritional programs. Let us see what are the nutrients, what are the types of the nutrients. Nutrients, the constitutes of food which are essential for the body are called nutrients. The types of nutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. What is the main function of carbohydrates are to provide energy for body, and protein function is to help in growing. Fats functions is provide energy. Vitamins functions are help in physiological activities or physical activities. Okay, and minerals act as regulators in physiological activities. Water, it's a water function is transports food, regulates body temperature. Okay, these are the main nutrients and their functions. Okay, and coming to the definitions, what is malnutrition? WHO defines malnutrition as the cellular imbalance between the supply of nutrients and energy and the body demands for them to ensure growth maintenance. The specific functions. Malnutrition is condition that develops when the body does not get the right amount of the vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients it needs to maintain healthy tissues and organ functions. This is about the definition of malnutrition. And coming to the definition of protein energy malnutrition. It is a group of body depletion disorder which includes kwashiorkor, marasmus, and inadequate stages. Here the protein energy malnutrition. It is a group of disorders. It is having kwashiorkor, marasmus, and marasmic kwashiorkor is there. These are the conditions comes under the protein energy malnutrition. Okay, next one is what is marasmus? The definition of marasmus is represents simple starvation. The body adapts to chronic state of insufficient caloric intake because this protein energy malnutrition or energy protein and caloric deficiencies is there. Okay, next coming to the kwashiorkor, it is the body's response to insufficient protein intake but usually sufficient calories for energy. Okay, this is about the definition of kwashiorkor. Nothing is there. What is PEM? PEM is a group of body depletion disorders. What are the group of disorders is there here? The kwashiorkor, marasmus. both casio marasmus conditions also is there. And what is marasmus? Nothing is there. Marasmus, it represents simple starvation. The body adapts to chronic state of insufficient caloric deficiency. Here the in marasmus caloric deficiency is there. In kwashiorkor only protein deficiency. Here the protein deficiency is there in the kwashiorkor, protein deficiency. Okay, this is about the definitions of malnutrition. And classification of nutritional deficiency disorders. Here the nutritional deficiency disorders are classified into, first one is protein energy malnutrition. Under protein energy malnutrition, kwashiorkor, marasmus and marasmic kwashiorkor is there. And second condition is childhood obesity. This also nutritional deficiency disorders. Here the protein energy malnutrition, it is an undernutrition. Whether we coming to the second condition, that is child obesity, it is an overnutrition, that also nutrition deficiency disorders. And next one is vitamin deficiency disorders. Under vitamin deficiency disorders, vitamin A, B, C, D disorders is there. Okay, we will discuss later. And next one is fourth one, mineral deficiency disorders. You know what are the minerals? That is iron deficiency, iodine deficiency and calcium deficiency. These are the conditions we will learn. Okay, this is about the classification of nutritional deficiency disorders. And next one is assessment of nutritional problems. How we will assess that babies or that child is having some nutritional problems means here the first you should assess assessment of dietary intake. How for that baby is taking diet, whether baby is not having protein rich diet or caloric rich diet, everything you should ask. And how far they are consuming pattern. For example, if 2 years old baby, they won't take any another, they won't depend with another extra food, but they are under the breastfeeding itself only. So those babies also is having this malnutrition, that is protein energy malnutrition or nutritional problems. So you should assess about the dietary intake of children who are having under 5 age group. And second one is anthropometric measurements. By assessing of the anthropometric examination of the children, it includes weight, height, and then mid-arm circumference, and then skin fold thickness. These are the indicators for the assessment of the children nutritional status, mainly mid-arm circumference. We will identify how far the child is having. The normal mid-arm circumference is 12.5. If it is above the 12.5, that is normal growth and development of nutritional status. Whether it is below the 12.5 mid-arm circumference is there, that time it indicates that child is having mild or moderate severe malnutrition. And third one is clinical examination. Here you should examine the by physically. Okay, by observing the child condition, how far any deviations is there than the normal growth and development. Everything you should observe by clinical examination. Okay, and observe about the signs and symptoms of any infections or any problems related with that. Everything you should examine under the clinical examination. Okay, and fourth one is assessment of associated infections. Here you should assess of associated problems like tuberculosis or malabsorption syndrome. Any infections or infestations should be made, find out the some any causes are related with the nutritional deficiency disorders. Everything you should assess with the associated infections. For example, if a child is having tuberculosis, automatically their nutritional supplementation is decreased. So you should assess about the associated infections. And fifth one is a laboratory investigations. What you should investigate about the child and while assessing the nutritional deficiency disorders means to check about routine blood and urine examinations and stool examinations and assess for go for the x-ray and estimation of any nutritional problems like vitamin D deficiency or whatever it may be. You should assess under the investigations of laboratory test, and to check about the hemoglobin level, serum protein levels, enzymes levels, blood levels of nutrients like vitamins and iron and amino acids, etc. You should be test evaluate under the laboratory investigations. And next, coming to the sixth one, assessment of the etiological factors. Here the you should assess what are the causative factors of that morbidity and then mortality pattern in the community. It helps to detect the nutritional status of the particular community. Here some areas babies are, for example, African countries, those African countries are children are poor nutritional status. We will assess by identifying the causes. Okay, so we will assess the factors of causes affecting this malnutrition. Okay, particular communities people are they are suffering with the particular problems. For example, iron deficiency anemia, for example vitamin B12. Indians are more common with the vitamin B12 deficiencies because they are depend with the rice. While cooking the rice they are removing the rice washing, keep on washing the rice, so automatically vitamin B12 is riboflavin is goes off. So some Indian people are affected with the malnutrition of vitamin deficiencies, that is B12 deficiency. Okay, this is about the assessment of etiological factors. Okay, did you understood what how we should assess the nutritional problems? According to these six steps you should plan for the child condition. Okay, all of you clear? And coming to the first condition, that is protein energy malnutrition. Okay, this is the first condition under the nutritional deficiency disorders. Under PEM, three conditions is there, we will discuss. Okay, PEM is also referred to as protein caloric malnutrition. Here are the what is PEM. P for protein and E for energy, means it is a calorie. These calories are producing energy, no? So here the child is suffering with the protein caloric deficiency or malnutrition. It is considered as a primary nutritional problem in India and also called the first national nutritional disorder. Okay, this is the first national nutritional disorder in our India. Okay, PM is due to food gap between the intake and requirement. Here the how much the requirement is there. For example, newborn is need the 3 grams of protein per each day, but the protein level is decreased, so automatically that child is suffering with the protein deficiency. That means here the PEM. PEM means it is both mixing of protein and caloric deficiency. This is Viva question. What is PEM means? It is an protein and caloric deficiency. It leads to malnutrition. Okay, this is about the protein energy malnutrition. Okay, next, the term protein energy malnutrition applies to a group of related disorders that includes, here the three disorders is there now. First one is marasmus, kwashiorkor and marasmus kwashiorkor. These are the three conditions that comes under the PEM, that is protein energy malnutrition. What is PEM means? It is an protein and caloric deficiency or malnutrition is there. Okay, this is about, these are the three conditions that comes under the PEM. Okay, etiology. What are the causative factors of this PEM is different combinations of many etiological factors can lead to PEM in children. They are social and economical factors, biological factors, environmental factors, role of free radicals, aflatoxin means here the aflatoxin. Here child is having some oxygen saturations molecules. Here the because of decreased free radicals means here the because of decreased oxygen levels in the cells, that is called as free radicals, oxygen containing molecules. Each cell is having oxygen containing molecules, it may decrease in the body. That also is one of the causative factors. And age and host, here the I said infections also is related with this malnutrition conditions. And frequent infections, that is acute respiratory tract infections, diarrhea, tuberculosis, HIV, etc. Those are the infections associated with this PEM. And malabsorption and may also lead to it this PEM because of malabsorption. Okay, that also is one of the cause. Okay, these are the causes, etiological factors of the PEM. And among the social, economic, biological, and environmental factors, the common cause are lack of breastfeeding and giving diluted formula feedings and improper complementary feedings, because they are introducing the complementary feedings but improperly. Early starting of the weaning or late starting of the weaning. Early starting means before 4 months itself they are starting the weanings, and late weaning means introduction of the new foods to that baby, means after 2 years they are giving. That is a improper complementary feedings. And overcrowding in families, because overcrowding in the family means their nutritional, their economic status is very poor means automatically, because number of children is increased in that family means the distribution of food also is divided, small quantity is there. So overcrowding in the family, that also one of the causative factor for PEM. And ignorance, illiteracy, lack of health education. How this lack of health education means, I said no, Indians are all are most having a vitamin B12 deficiency because lack of health education. They are removing the rice water during cooking of the rice. Okay, so that also one of the lack of health education. It is related factor. And poverty, infections, family disharmonies, because the family disharmonies also, that also one of the common cause of this PEM. Okay, these are the causes. And indicators for the malnutrition, how you should know about the child is suffering with the malnutrition or PEM. Here the indicators is there, that is 4 indicators, that is shunting, wasting, overweight, underweight. These 4 are the indicators of the malnutrition. Shunting, what is shunting means? Height for the age. If the child is not having proper height according to their age group, for example it is less than 2 standard deviation of the WHO of child growth standard median. Here the WHO is given some growth chart. It is they given one standard deviation. Under that, the height for age of the child, they are having less than 2 standard deviation. Okay, that time it is called as the child is having shunting. Shunting means the height is decreasing for that baby. And second one is wasting, weight for the height. Here according to the height, baby is not having proper weight, so it is less than 2 standard deviation of WHO child growth standard median. Okay, and then next third one is overweight. Overweight means weight for the height. Here in this more than 2 plus standard deviation, above 2 shunting and wasting, less than 2 standard deviation is there in the WHO growth chart. But overweight is, it is more than 2 standard deviation of weight for the height, it is there according to the WHO. And fourth one is underweight. Underweight means weight for age. Here the according to the, for example child is having we will take infant 1 year of age group. At the 1 year, how much the weight it should be there means triples the birth weight. Triples the birth weight means by birth 3 kgs it is there. Triples the birth weight means minimum child is having 9 kgs. But what happened here means child is having less weight, means below 5 kgs or below less than the 5 kgs. That time it is called as underweight baby. Okay, this is about the indicators of malnutrition, because by assessing of the child by physical examination and everything, you should easily evaluate this shunting, wasting, overweight, underweight. Are you clear? This is about the indicators of malnutrition. And next one is classification of the PEM. Here, how did you classify the PEM? PEM has classified into the so many classifications is there. The PEM may be classified according to the severity, clinical features, and energy or protein deficiency or caloric deficiency. Severity classified as based on the body measurements. For example, weight and height. Weight of more than 80% of expected for age is taken as normal. Here the whether child is having weight that is more than 80%. Here the WHO is given standards of growth chart. This age group child is having minimum this much of weight only. So here the 80% of expected weight for age is taken as a normal. Okay, here they given some grades of malnutrition. Here the grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 and grade 4. Grade 1 is if child is having 71 to 80%, it is there, that is grade 1. And grade 2 is that is a child is having 61 to 70% of weight according to the WHO growth chart. So it is having a child is having grade 2 malnutrition. Grade 3 malnutrition is 51 to 60% of child's weight according to the WHO growth chart. That time you should classify as a grade 3 malnutrition. Grade 4 malnutrition is less than 50% weight of expected for that age group. Okay, this is about the classification. Along with this classification, so many classifications is there, that is the syndromic classification, classification of Indian Academy of Pediatrics. Here they are given this same gradings. This is Indian Academy of pediatrics classification, IAP classification only, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 and grade 4. And along with that Gomez classification also is there. Here they are classified the international classifications of weight more than 90% they are given, that is Gomez classification and WHO classification. So many classifications is there for assessing of the PEM. Okay, this is an IAP classification. All of you clear? And next one is assessing of child by mid-arm circumference. Assessing of nutritional deficiency by mid-arm circumference assessment. This is known as angle age independent anthropometric criteria for children between 1 to 5 years of age group. For which age group we are checking this mid-arm circumference? 1 to 5 years of age group children only. Mid-arm circumference for 1 to 5 years old children should be more than 13.5 centimeters. Those with a mid-arm circumference of less than 12.5 centimeters are considered as a malnutrition. Above 12.5 centimeters, it is means 13.5 centimeters means it is normal nutrition levels. If child is having less than 12.5 centimeters are considered as a malnutrition. Here less than 12.5 centimeters considered as a malnutrition. Those children having 11.5 centimeters are classified as a severe malnutrition. Okay, and then those between 12.5 centimeters to 13.5 centimeters considered as a borderline malnutrition. And this is a measured using by Shakers tape with which giving color codings. Here the look at this picture, they are assessing child's mid-arm circumference with a Shakers tape. Here it is having 3 color codes in the tape, Shakers tape, that is red color, yellow color and green color. Whenever you are assessing that child is having red color portion, it indicates that child is having below 12.5 centimeters mid-arm circumference. What I said, below 12.5 centimeters means it considered as a child is having malnutrition. Okay, if it is whenever you are assessing child mid-arm circumference, that Shakers tape became at yellow color means 12.5 to 13.5 centimeters. It is a borderline malnutrition. Green means here more than 13 centimeters. It is an child is suffering with the here the normal. It is green is it is normal. Mid-arm malnutrition levels it is there. So this is about the mid-arm circumference. By assessing of mid-arm circumference, we should identify the malnutrition of the children. Which instrument we are assessing this mid-arm circumference? Shakers tape. The color codings of the Shakers tape is red, yellow and green. Green it indicates that normal nutrition level. Yellow it indicates that borderline malnutrition level. Red portion it indicates that severe malnutrition. Okay, this is about mid-arm circumference assessment. And coming to the first condition, that is about Kwashiorkor. Till now we discuss about PEM. What is PEM? Okay, then we discuss about first condition of under PEM, that is Kwashiorkor. The term originates from Ga language in Ghana, Africa, which means disease associated with the birth of a second child or the sickness the baby get when the new baby comes. Diet low in protein results in Kwashiorkor. Okay, did you got this point? Here, what is Kwashiorkor means? From where this word is comes from means it's comes from the Africa means Ga language, from the Ga language. What is the meaning of this Kwashiorkor means disease associated with the birth of second child. First child is survive. Second child is having malnutrition. Why? Because means overcrowding of the family. Means extra members are included in that family. Their economic status is poor, but new members are coming in that family. So the second child is affected with the malnutrition. This is about the Kwashiorkor. What is Kwashiorkor means? The low in protein results of Kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor means here the protein diet low in the protein. So look at this picture, how the child is looking like, because some malnutrition is there. Now we will discuss. Causes of the Kwashiorkor. The precise etiology of Kwashiorkor remain unclear. Several hypotheses have been proposed that are associated with the explained some but not all aspects of pathophysiology of Kwashiorkor. They include but are not limited to protein deficiency causes. They are not limited to the protein deficiency. They are associated with the albumin deficiency, hypoalbuminemia, amino acid deficiency, oxidate stress, gut microbe changes. These are the causes. What is hypoalbuminemia? Here the child is having albumin. It is a portion of the protein. What is albumin means? It is a protein that is made in a liver. The liver is made this protein in the body, but the liver also is having some infections or some problems in that babies. So child is having hypoalbuminemia. Do not have protein albumin in the blood levels. Normally, how much the blood protein level in the blood means in between the 3.5 to 5.9 grams per dl it is there. If it is less than 3.5 to 5.9 grams per dl, so it indicates that hypoalbuminemia. Okay, next second one is amino acid deficiency. What is amino acids? Here the amino acids are results, they are maintaining in the body's immune system, that is immunity, and digestive system. Whether if any digestive problems is there, that time this amino acid deficiencies we will know that. And child, because of this amino acid deficiency, child is suffering with some depression, fertility problems, low mental alterations, slow growth in the children's. Each amino acid plays a different roles in the body. If any amino acid is deficient, automatically that child is suffering with the this caloric this protein deficiency. And next one is oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress means? I said no, oxidative stress, it is oxygen molecules are that is free radicals. Oxygen molecules is there in the each cell, because the oxygen stress means decreased oxygen saturation in the molecules. What happen, child is suffering with the some oxygen stress, that is called as oxidative stress. Okay, that cells are needed for the oxygen. So whether baby is not taking proper nutrition, hemoglobin levels is decreased, automatically child is suffering with the oxidative stress. Next one is gut microbe changes. Okay, in the digestive system, so many bacteria, fungus that live in the digestive tract. But whenever our immune system is maintain normal immunity, they may do for fightings. But here the our immunity level also is malnourished baby immunity level is very less, no, so automatically that gut problems is there. Okay, here the microbes are prone to get some infections, so child is suffering with the diarrhea, vomitings, and then digestive problems is there. These are the causes of kwashiorkor. All of you clear? Hypoalbuminemia, amino acid deficiency, oxidative stress, gut microbes changes. Next, coming to characterization means how the clinical features of kwashiorkor. This is very very important. Clinical features of kwashiorkor baby. First one is decrease in body weight between 60% and 80% expected weight for the age. Here, the child is having decreased body weight compared according to the age. And second one is generalized edema, distended abdomen, and enlarged liver. Look at this picture. First picture, how the baby is look like. Here the kwashiorkor baby, by assessing of physical examination, we will identify that baby is suffering with the kwashiorkor. Okay, according to the age, child's weight is less. It is there, decreased is there. At the same way, child is suffering with the generalized edema, distended abdomen, and enlarged liver. Okay, look at this picture, distended abdomen and then enlarged liver also is there. Look at that second picture, child is having edema at the lower extremities, means pitting edema is there. Both pictures, child is having edema over the body is there. In second picture, pitting edema is there in the lower limbs. Okay, that is second. And third characteristics means a hair is usually dry, sparse, brittle, easily pluckable, and depigmented appears reddish yellow color it is there. With a adequate protein intake, hair color is restored and may result in the alternating bands of the pale and then normal color colored hair, also known as the flax signs. Here nothing is there in the kwashiorkor baby. Uh, they are having a flax sign hair. Flax sign hair, why it may be occur means because of the caloric deficiency. Child is having deficiency, that is a protein deficiency and caloric deficiency. Here the protein, mostly proteins are indicate that our skin healthiness. Okay, when child is having normal protein levels, it indicates that child's healthiness by assessing of the hair, skin tone, and then nails. Whenever you are observing the kwashiorkor baby, their hair is in flag color or flag sign is there. Flag sign means whenever you are taking one hair, okay, half of the portion is having brown color or yellow color, and remaining portion of that hair is having light brown color, and final tip of the hair is having black in color. So it indicates that black color sign of the hair is there in the kwashiorkor baby. Whenever you are assessing by physical examination, whenever you are touching, easily pluckable and it is brittle, Okay, it is there. Okay, so this is very very important. Flag color sign is there in the kwashiorkor baby. Okay, and third clinical feature is skin changes including shiny, varnished looking skin 64%, and dark erythematous pigmented mucus it is there about 48%. Dryness is 28% is there. Residual hypopigmentation, that is 18%, and hyperpigmentation and erythema also is there. Look at this picture how they are having. Here child is suffering with the skin changes including shiny, varnished looking of the skin. Whenever we are checking that baby by physical examination, child is suffering with some pigmented problems related health. Okay, skin changes. Okay, and next one is these children also have muscle wasting but tend to retain subcutaneous fat. Here they are having some muscle wasting but subcutaneous fat is there. Here what is kwashiorkor? Kwashiorkor it is an protein deficiency. Okay, so here they are having muscle wasting but they tend to retain the subcutaneous fat. And next one is, okay, these are the clinical features are of kwashiorkor. What are the clinical features? Look at this picture. Child is having less weight and then generalized edema of all over the body it is there, and then distended abdomen, and then enlarged liver is there. Look at that picture. Child's hair, the flag sign is there, and then easily pluckable and then easily brittly hair it is there. At the same way child is having very lethargic and then generalized edema all over the body. It is pitting edema is there. Child is having muscle wasting but child is having subcutaneous fat. Okay, but at the same time whenever you are observing distended abdomen we are identifying. This is about the kwashiorkor clinical features. Okay, next second condition. Okay, what is second condition? Marasmus. What is marasmus? Marasmus means muscles wasting. Okay, here the definition of the marasmus. Marasmus is a form of severe PEM, occurs as results from negative energy balance that may occur at any age, particularly in early infancy, and is characterized by severe wasting. That is, body weight is less than 60% of expected and body utilized all fat stores before using the muscles. First, here the child is having subcutaneous fat is lost. After that, the muscle also is wasting. Okay, look at this picture. How the clinical features are there in that marasmic baby. Marasmus means muscle wasting. Here, child is suffering with the energy balances. Okay, means here the child is caloric deficiency is there. Loss of subcutaneous fat and gross muscle wasting, absence of edema. But edema is there in that which condition? Kwashiorkor condition, child is having edema. In marasmic condition we can't see edema, but here muscle wasting is there, that is a caloric deficiency. Here child is suffering with the loss of subcutaneous fat, gross muscle wasting, absence of edema is there. Okay, and child adapts to energy deficiency with decreased in physical activity. How that baby look like? Look at this picture. Baby is having very lethargic, decreased in basal energy metabolism, slowing of growth, finally weight loss is there. By physical examination itself we will identify the PEM condition babies. PEM kwashiorkor baby is having edematous. Marasmic baby is having muscle wasting. Kwashiorkor means protein deficiency. Marasmus means caloric deficiency. And etiology, the specific cause may be poor feeding habits due to the improper training, lack of breastfeeding, and the use of diluted animal milk. And second one is a physical defects, example cleft lip, cleft palate, or cardiac abnormalities which prevent the infant from the taking an adequate diet. Because of these congenital malformations of cleft lip and palate, baby is unable to take feedings. Aspiration is there, so child is having malnutrition. That also one of the cause of physical defects and decreases diseases which interferes with the uh, assimilation of food. Example, cystic fibrosis. That also one of the causes of disease. And next, infections. Okay, here the infections which produce anorexia. Some GI tract infections are related with the respiratory problems. That also is associated with that causes. Loss of food through vomiting and then diarrhea. Okay, this is also one of the cause. Emotional problems, example, disturbed mother's child relationship, because children, they won't tell I need this, I want food. Okay, they won't tell I am hungry. Mothers has to identify the needs of the baby, because a disturbed mother and then some child relation problems is there, that time they won't feed the baby, so those babies are having this marasmus. Okay, and signs and symptoms of marasmus baby. The first signs and symptom is growth retardation. Weight is less than 60% of expected for age and sex. Length, head, chest, and abdominal circumference are also affected, but to lesser extent than the weight. Okay, here the growth retardation in all areas, in the abdominal circumference, length, head circumference, chest circumference, and everything. Okay, less than 60% of growth weight loss is there in that baby. Okay, first one is growth retardation. Second one is loss of subcutaneous fat. Okay, have you seen that image? Okay, child is having loss of subcutaneous fat. Okay, and abdominal wall leading to loss of skin elasticity, means pendulous abdomen is there because of loss of skin elasticity over the abdomen. Okay, and the limbs, that is thighs and then buttocks, the skin become wrinkled and hanging into longitudinal folds. Okay, have you seen monkey? Okay, monkey, how they are having foldings over their backs, thighs, and buttocks. Okay, that is the way babies appear. Okay, and then the baconorace, means the pad of the fat is last to disappear. Here the buccal cavity, the cheeks, buccal cheek is having buccal cavity, no, it is having much subcutaneous fat all over the human beings. When the child is having marasmus, this buccal cavity, the face is having buccal cavity in the cheeks, over the cheek. Okay, that time what happened, that also is losing, so baby look like a monkey face. Okay, the cheeks are inverted. Okay, so because of lack of buccal cavity, this leads to hollow these cheeks, which leads to triangle face and an appropriate resumable the old man look or a monkey man look. Okay, how the old men are looking, like that way baby is there. See how the babies look like, lack of buccal cavity. Okay, and next one is marked wasting muscles. Okay, this together with the loss of subcutaneous fat leads to a scaphoid abdomen with the marked thinning of the abdominal wall. Look at that picture, how the baby is look like stick like appearance of the limbs, how that limbs is there, upper and lower limbs child is having like a stick. This is about the symptom of marked wasting of the muscles. And psychic changes, marasmic infant look anxious, irritable, excessively cry, sleep little. However, they look less miserable than the case of cash worker. Here, the marasmic infant are usually hungry and have good appetite. Sometimes there is anorexia and poor feeding also is there. By physical examination, these children are very hungry. Okay, whenever we are giving anything, they are eagerly eating that food, but they are eating, but their muscle development is not there, because they are having more infections, they are having more gut problems. So this marasmus is there. And next, fifth one is chronic diarrhea with or without vomitings, and intra intercurrent infections. Child is suffering with infections like otitis media, bronchopneumonia, urinary tract infections. And seventh one is associated defects like iron deficiency and vitamin deficiencies, that is A and D deficiency. Okay, eighth one is hypothermia because of preterm, mostly child is suffering because of lack of subcutaneous fat. They are not maintaining the thermoregulation, they are having the hypothermia. Okay, this is about the clinical features of marasmic baby. What are the clinical features we learn in this marasmus baby? Growth retardation, loss of subcutaneous fat, marked wasting of the muscles, and psychic changes, chronic diarrhea or without vomitings, intercurrent infections, associated defects, deficiencies, hypothermia. These are the clinical features we are identifying the marasmic baby. Next, coming to the laboratory findings, blood glucose levels is decreased. Baby is having hemoglobin levels also, HB level also is decreased. Urine analysis, child is having some urinary infections. To stool test, that also it is having very, child is having some constipations and related with the intestinal infections. Sometimes diarrhea also is there. Okay, because some gut infections and infections related with the digestive system is there. And electrolyte test, it indicates that child is suffering with the calcium deficiency, phosphate deficiency, and iron deficiency is there. Okay, these are the laboratory investigations. And treatment of marasmus. The best way to treat marasmus is to give the affected individual a healthy and nutritious diet which is rich in protein and calories, so that the body gets the sufficient energy to function. Here the NRC management. NRC means Nutritional Rehabilitation Centers. In each district, one NRC centers is there for these malnourished babies. In that center, they freely give the supplement the nutrients for that baby according to their deficiencies. If vitamin deficiency or protein deficiency or caloric deficiency, they replace with that in that centers. Okay, and there are specific methods of refeeding and rehydrating and affected individuals so as to prevent complications arising out of refeeding. The methods generally used for refeeding are use of IV fluids, rehydration solutions administered orally, and feeding through the NG tubes. Alternative methods, they are giving the feedings to giving the nutrients to for that baby. Mostly the treatment of this marasmus baby means parenteral nutrition and administered the where the deficiency is there, whether it is caloric or protein deficiency or vitamins or so many electrolytes deficiency also is there, so you have to replace that. And next one is complications of marasmus. Lack of proper growth in children, joint deformities, severe weakness, permanent vision loss, means blindness also is there for that babies, and organ failures, coma. These are the complications of the marasmus. And third condition. Okay, two conditions is over. First condition Kwashiorkor, second condition is marasmus. Third condition is marasmic Kwashiorkor. Here, when there is a mixed picture with the features of both marasmus and Kwashiorkor, whenever you are looking that baby, they are having both clinical features, marasmic and then Kwashiorkor. So this name turned as a marasmic Kwashiorkor. Then it is known as a marasmic Kwashiorkor. These children have concurrent gross wasting, edema, and then frequently shunting. Here the height also is decreasing. Mild hair and skin changes are often seen, and they are They are also having enlarged palpable fatty liver. Okay, this is about the marasmic kwashiorkor. Look at this picture. They are having protruded abdomen, both features. Okay, so marasmic features and then kwashiorkor features. Okay, that next fourth one is severe acute malnutrition, SAM. This is very important SAM condition. Here it is characteristic features of our mid-arm circumference, that is less than 11.5 centimeters. Weight for height is Z score is less than 3. Z score means here the WHO standardized growth chart. Here they give a curve that is called a Z score of the baby's weight and weight for the height. It is less than 3, and then child is having bilateral pitting edema and marasmic kwashiorkor conditions. Both edema and then wasting is there. In simple terms, all children with body weight less than 60% of expected weight and with the edema should be considered to have SAM. In this SAM condition, edema also we will consider because marasmus is there, no? That also is increased. Okay, they are at great risk of death due to many uncurrent illnesses, especially infections, because they are having protein and caloric and vitamin and minerals deficiency, because they are more prone to get the death rate. Okay, so this is about severe acute malnutrition and management and prevention of malnutrition. This is overall prevention of malnutrition. There is a need for the periodic weighing and then charting on growth charts, and this will help in detection of early growth deviation of taking early corrective measures to prevent the undernutrition. By frequent checking of the height and then weight, we will detect. Early detection is very important to prevention of this malnutrition. And nursing interventions at the community level can effectively deal with these problems at an early stage. Okay, and the management involves advising increasing the energy intake up to 150 kilocalories per kg body weight. Day with frequent energy dense food with which can done by adding oils to the food. Here because of subcutaneous fat and then because intake is less, fatty foods and proteins and calories is decreased, so you should add that. The protein intake of 3 to 3.5 grams per kg body weight per day is also is essential. Okay, so how much it is needed for protein intake? 3 to 3.5 grams per kg per day. If child is having 9 kgs means 9 threes are 27 grams is required for protein for that children. And to correct the infections, if any, should be treated. If the management is effective, it can be assessed by the weight gain. Child with the SAM with no complications can also be possible management in the community, but would require a very close supervision. However, in case they develop any intercurrent illnesses, I said no SAM condition, the death rate is more high. So then they should be promptly referred to the higher center, higher health facility for hospitalization, since they can deteriorate very fast. So you should refer the case whenever you are identifying the SAM condition. You should remember that decreased in appetite in a marasmic child is a danger sign. I said no, marasmic condition babies, muscle wasting condition, caloric deficiency condition baby, whenever we are offered the food, that baby is eagerly eating that food. Whenever child is having decreased appetite, that indicates that it is a danger sign. Remember it. Okay, it can be due to infections, and they need prompt assessment, evaluate and then management. Whether sometimes child is suffering with the appetite means that time child is having GI disturbance means, okay, you should evaluate everything. Okay, so this is about the management of SAM conditions. And next one is following 10 essential steps. These steps is needed. Our Indian government given these 10 steps management of malnourished baby, or they are treated for treatment of inpatient department. Okay, inpatient in the SAM conditions of the children. Here, first one is treat and prevent the hypoglycemia, to prevent the low level of low sugar levels, and treat and prevent the hypothermia because they are having lack of subcutaneous fat. So you should maintain the hypothermia and treat and prevent dehydration. These are the protein energy malnutrition. Babies are suffering with the diarrhea and then vomitings because GI gut disturbance is there. So you should prevent the dehydration and then treat the dehydration. Correct electrolyte imbalance, treat, prevent infections. Correct micronutrient deficiencies, that is vitamin A, folic acid, zinc, copper and iron in safe and effective doses. Okay, and next, start cutaneous feeding. Here, whether baby is unable to take, that time you should start cutaneous feedings also, and achieve each upgrowth and provide sensory stimulation and emotional support, and finally prepare for follow up after recovery. These 10 steps are very important for SAM children. Here we are till now we discussed about okay, protein energy malnutrition babies. Okay, under the what are the conditions is there? Kwashiorkor, marasmic Kwashiorkor and SAM conditions. And prevention of malnutrition, you must be remember that there is a multiple measures. Here how to you should prevent this malnutrition means promotion of breastfeeding, complementary feedings, food supplementation, micronutrient interventions and general improvement of family and then community. Okay, and coming to the nursing management, under the nursing management of nutritional deficiency disorders, the nursing diagnosis are for nutritional deficiency disorders are, first one is imbalanced nutrition less than body requirement related to inadequate intake, anorexia in the and diarrhea. And second one is fluid volume deficit related to decrease in oral intake and then increased loss due to the diarrhea. Third one is altered growth and development related to caloric and then protein intake is not adequate. Okay, fourth one is risk for aspiration related to the provision of food, beverages per soda and increase the tracheobronchial secretions. Okay, and risk for aspiration is there, and related with you should add according to your conditions. And fifth one is ineffective airway clearance related to increased secretions of trachea, bronchial, secondary to respiratory tract infections. Here, and one more it is there, risk for growth and development because some related problems also is there. Okay, so these are the nursing diagnosis of nutritional deficiency disorders. I hope everybody is understand about today's topic. What we learned today about nutritional deficiency disorders, that is protein energy malnutrition. Under that protein energy malnutrition, we discussed Kwashiorkor, marasmus, and severe acute malnutrition (SAM) conditions. And next, these four conditions are we discussed today. Okay. Tomorrow we will discuss continuation of nutritional deficiency disorders, that is childhood obesity, vitamin deficiencies, mineral deficiencies. Thank you very much.